This week, I'm going to lead you through a full body slow flow. This is especially strengthening for the legs, but we will get the whole body moving. Let's get started. For this week's practice, you don't necessarily need any props. I'm going to lead you through this flow without any props, but if you normally like to use blocks, then blocks might be a nice addition, having them under hands as we go through some lunging poses. But with that, we are ready to start, and we're going to start from standing up today. And make sure you have some space on each side, because our first movement is going to be the 6-part Daoist breath. But before that, just find a steady standing pose. You could have your feet a bit wider than your hips, so you don't need to balance here. And then bring your both hands onto your lower belly. You could close your eyes for a few breaths and send those few breaths down to your hands. Let your shoulders soften and just invite your awareness to your body, onto your mat, into your breath. Feel the weight on both feet. You might rock a bit from heels to your toes, from one foot to the other. And if Ujjayi breath is part of your practice, you might find a gentle Ujjayi breath now. We'll take a couple more breaths here. And then with your next breath, if you want, you can open your eyes as we start to move. Release your arms next to your sides, and we'll move into our 6-part Daoist breath. We're going to do 3 rounds. With your next in-breath, lengthen arms up, open the chest. Exhale, push hands out to the sides, opening the palms. Inhale, close the hands and pull arms next to your sides. Exhale, open palms and push hands in front of you, away from the chest. Inhale, close the hands, pull the arms in. Exhale, push hands down towards the mat into a full forward bend. Then from the beginning, inhale, reach up, open the chest. Exhale, push hands out to the side. You can follow the hands with your gaze. Inhale, pull the arms in. Exhale, push in front of you. And here you can round your neck, your upper back. Inhale, draw the arms in. Exhale, down towards the mat. And you can bend your knees, allow your head to drop down. One more round with your in-breath, reaching up. Push your feet down. Exhale, push hands out to the sides. Inhale, draw the arms in. Exhale, push in front of you. Feet grounding down. Inhale, once more, draw the arms in. Exhale, down towards the mat, soften your neck. Inhale, once more, reach your arms up. Exhale, bring hands back onto your lower belly. Take a couple of breaths in and out. And then you can open your arms and turn towards the top of your mat so that now you have space behind you. We're going to go into our longer flow. And we're going to first bring weight onto the left foot and lift the right knee up towards the chest. You could first help with your hands to lift the knee a bit higher up. Maybe flex your ankle, your right foot. And then bring palms together in front of the chest. Inhale here. As you exhale, move into warrior 3, lengthening your right leg behind you. You can open your arms. With your next in-breath, bring the right knee again towards the belly, towards the chest. You can bring palms back together. Same again. Exhale, send the right leg back. Standing leg, knee could be bent. And once more, inhale, bring your right knee towards the chest, palms together. Once more, reach your right leg back into that warrior 3. And now from here, we're going to step into a runner's lunge. So step your right foot far back. Bring both hands onto the mat on the inside of your left foot. And you can walk the left foot a bit further out to the side. Few times, rock forward and back. So shifting the weight from right foot to your left foot. Both hands active on the mat. One more time, rock back and forth. Then bring weight to the center and either stay on both hands or as you exhale, lower down onto your elbows, going even further down. See if you could keep the right knee off the mat. If that doesn't feel manageable now, you can bring the right knee down to the mat. Breathe here in and out. And then lift the right knee off the mat. Lift up onto 2 hands. Leave your right hand on the mat. And as you inhale, twist to the left. And here you can either reach the left arm up or you can bring left arm behind the back. Focus on opening your chest. You might look up, you might look out to the side or turn your gaze down towards the mat. But keep turning your chest bone out to the left. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, release the twist. Bring hands or fingertips to the mat. You can walk the left foot more to the center. And as you exhale, start to extend your left leg. We don't need to go fully straight, and your right heel doesn't need to go down to the mat. But we are bending down into a full forward bend over that left leg. You could either lift the left foot toes up to the ceiling, or you might keep your left foot on the mat. Take another breath in and out. Keep your arms still active. And then exhale, bring the weight back onto that left foot, back into that lunge. Make your lunge steady. We're going to inhale, windmill the arms up, left arm reaching to the right thigh behind you, and then right arm reaching up. We are twisting to the left, but this time there could be a bit of a back bend going on as well. We might get a nice side bend along that right side body. Focus your gaze onto something that's not moving. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, slowly release the pose. Bring both hands to the mat. We're going to step into a plank and go through a slow vinyasa flow. From plank, exhale down to low plank. You could have your knees on the mat, chest coming down. Inhale to cobra or upward facing dog. And then exhale into downward dog, lifting the pelvis up. You could pedal your feet here a bit. Take another breath or 2 in and out. Let your heavy head drop down. And then from your downward dog, you could look forward to your hands and step or jump your both feet forward. Inhale to flat back, extending your spine. And exhale, bend down. You can bend your knees as well, full forward bend. Inhale, roll the back up, reach arms up, open the chest. Exhale, bring palms together in front of the chest. Pause here to breathe. We're going to do all that to the other side. Now shift the weight onto your right foot and lift your left knee towards the chest, towards the belly. Again, you could first help with your hands. Soften the tops of the shoulders. And then leave your knee up and bring palms together. Or this time round, if you want, you could lift your both arms up towards the ceiling. We're going to exhale into that warrior three, reaching the left leg back, open arms next to your sides. And as you inhale, lift the left knee back to the chest, and you could reach arms overhead or palms together in front of the chest. Same again, exhaling to that warrior three, stand leg knee could be bent. And inhale, lifting up once more. Lift your back, lift your head up. And then exhale into one more warrior three. Maintain that balance. We're going to slowly step the left foot far back into that runner's lunge. Bring hands to the mat. And then you can adjust your legs, maybe walking the right foot a bit further out to the side. Pelvis can come a bit further down. And now you can stay here. We're going to rock the weight forward and back a few times. So trying to keep that left knee off the mat. You might bring it down a bit later, but for this, keep the knee off the mat and just rock the weight from the right foot to the left foot. Let the arms support you. Let's do one more round. And then find the weight to the center. And you can still stay on the hands, or here you have the option to bring your elbows to the mat. And you could keep the left knee off the mat, or bring your left knee down for this gecko pose, this lizard pose. Keep breathing. And then if you have the left knee on the mat, lift it off the mat and come up onto your hands. We're going to leave the left hand down and now inhale, twist out to the right side, either reaching the right arm up, or again, you could bring the right arm, the top arm behind the back, and focus on opening the chest. Here, legs are active, so we're trying to keep the left knee off the mat to strengthen the legs even more. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly exhale, release the twist. Bring hands onto the mat. You can walk the right foot more to the center. And we're going to now start to extend the right leg. Again, you could lift the toes off the mat. Try to keep hands or fingertips on the mat. Or maybe this is where you have blocks under hands. And again, we don't need to fully straighten the right leg, just to a point where you could get in touch with that back side of your right leg. You can lean your back, lean your head down and forward. And breathe. See, with exhalation, you could go a tiny bit further down. We'll take another breath in and out. And then exhale, shift the weight back forward onto the right foot. Make your lunge really steady. As we inhale, windmill the arms up. Now right hand reaching for the left thigh behind us. And then left arm lifting up. We are twisting out to the right. And at the same time, there could be some back bending going on. You could look down, you could look to the side, you could look up if that feels good. Take another breath in and out. Really keeping the feet active. And then exhale, windmill the arms back down. And again, we're going to step into plank and go through that slow flow. So step your both feet back into plank, and as you go down, try to push the floor away, exhaling low plank or all the way down to the mat, and then inhaling cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale into downward dog, and you can adjust your hands, you can adjust your feet. Allow again head to drop down and reach your back long as if there's someone lifting your pelvis up. Take a couple of breaths in and out. And then as you exhale, bring your knees down to the mat. and lean into a child's pose. Couple of breaths in child's pose. Here you could rock your pelvis from side to side. Allow head to lean either onto the mat or bring hands under the head. And then slowly bring yourself back onto your hands and knees. We're going to go into some low planks, and we're going to do this on our elbows. So now bring your elbows down onto the mat and either interlock fingers or turn your palms to the mat. You decide. We're going to step the legs back, extending the legs, and find a low plank. And we're going to stay here for 10 breaths. Breathing in, breathing out. Reach your head and feet away from each other. Breathing in, breathing out. Try to maintain that long line from head to heels. If you need to, you can bring your knees to the mat at any point. But try to keep hovering your pelvis off the mat. Try to keep hovering your belly, your chest off the mat. And count your breaths. I'm counting another 4 breaths in and out. Two more breaths. Shaking is very okay. And then after your 10 breaths, bring your knees down, bring your belly, your chest down. Come down onto your belly and reach arms behind you. Now, if you want, you could either interlock fingers and hands behind your back or just keep arms next to your sides. We're going to inhale, exhale, lift into a locust pose. So now opening the chest away from the mat. You could look forward, or you might look down towards the mat. Keep your legs long. We don't need to lift high up. Just more focus on that long line going through your whole body. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly, slowly release your chest, your head down. You can bring hands under your head and take a couple of belly breaths in and out. Let your shoulders, your chest relax. And then from our resting pose, step hands back under your shoulders, lift onto hands and knees, and come back into downward facing dog. And here you could pedal the feet a bit, shake the head. And then we're going to find our gate pose. So now as you inhale, first send your left leg up into the air. Exhale, bring your left knee on the mat and step your left hand further forward on the mat. We're going to turn our belly, our chest towards the long side of the mat. And now we're going to find a balancing pose here. We're going to slowly lift the right leg off the mat and try to focus on the same long line as we had in Warrior 3 from our foot to the head. And your right arm could either reach up or you could bring right arm behind the back. Now you can either stay here or bend the right knee and then reach your right hand to the right foot behind you to open more through the front line. You might look up, you might look down to the mat. Keep pushing the floor away with your left hand, with your left arm. Take another breath in and out. And then slowly, as you exhale, release that right foot down. Bring both hands to the mat. And now we're going to push down through both hands. Lift the left knee towards the chest. Hover here. So you're lifting your pelvis, you're lifting your chest away from the mat. And then we're going to open that left hip into a pigeon pose. Lower the pelvis down, and this is where you could use a block under the left hip if you want. Now open your chest and push the floor away with your legs. You're lifting up, opening through the chest. Opening maybe arms out to the sides to balance in your pigeon as well. Take another breath in and out. And then as you exhale, step your hands back in front of you. Tuck your right foot toes under. Step into a plank to go through the vinyasa flow. Slow vinyasa flow. We're going to exhale, go down. You can hover off the mat. Inhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale into downward facing dog. And you could shake the head, pedal the feet. And we're going to go into the gate and pigeon on the other side. So now as you inhale, send your right leg up into the air. Exhale, bring your right knee on the mat. And then step your right hand further forward. So your shoulder would be on top of the wrist. Turn to the other long side of the mat. Again, you can start by reaching the left arm up. Find your balance and slowly start to lift your left leg off the mat. You might need to walk the right hand further forward. Again, long line from your head to your left foot. And then if you want, you can also bring that left arm behind the back. Either stay here or bend your left knee, reach left hand to the left foot, and then open the chest. Again, pushing the floor away with the right arm so we're not collapsed onto that right shoulder. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale, slowly release the left foot down. Bring both hands to the mat. And we're going to push both hands down. And we're going to lift the right knee to the chest, to the belly. Try to keep your left leg extended and really using the core, hip flexors to bring the right knee in. And then open that right hip, right leg into the pigeon. You can lower the pelvis further down. You could have a block here under the pelvis. Staying in that proud upright pigeon. We're going to inhale, press the legs down and lift the chest up. Again, you could lift your hands off the mat. You could even interlock fingers behind the back like you might have done in the locust pose. And opening the chest. There could be some back bending going on. Listen to your legs, listen to your back. Make sure it doesn't hurt. Take another breath in and out. And then exhale slowly. Release, bring hands to the mat. And now lean onto your right hip. Sit down onto the pelvis. Bring legs in front of you. Make sure you have space behind you. And then slowly roll down onto your back. And you could a few times swing the knees from side to side. Just let the pelvis rock from side to side. Let your spine twist. And then we're going to find happy baby pose. Lifting the feet up. So now bring your knees to your chest. And then open your hips and reach hands to the feet or ankles or to the back of your knees. And you could stay here. Or if you want, lift the soles of the feet up towards the ceiling, getting your feet, your legs a bit higher up. And then you could rock a bit from side to side. Maybe straightening the legs more, maybe straightening one leg, then the other. Let your shoulders stay soft. Take a few breaths in your happy baby. If the feet feel tired, you could move your feet here a bit. And then from that happy baby, we start to find our way into the final resting pose, into Savasana pose. You could bring your feet down, close the hips. And then if you want to stay lying down on the back, find a comfortable shape for the legs. You might extend your legs, or you could keep your knees bent. If lying down on the back doesn't feel right for you today, then feel free to lie down on your belly or curl down onto one side. Give yourself a moment to rest, to check in how you're feeling now. Notice the breath, notice the pace, notice the rhythm of your breath now at the end of the practice. A few times you could exhale through the mouth, let out a sigh. If you've used the Ujjayi breath, this would be a good time to let go of your Ujjayi breath. You could rock your head from side to side. Give yourself at least a few more breaths in your resting pose. And then after those few breaths, you can choose to continue your Savasana pose. Or if you feel that it's time to close the practice, just slowly roll onto one side and bring yourself up into a seat. If you feel at all that you'd like to extend your resting pose, then take as long as you want, as long as you need in your Savasana pose today. At the end of the practice, always thank yourself for taking the time to look after yourself, to move, to breathe with your body. And I thank you very much for joining in. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining in. If you enjoyed the practice, please give the video a thumbs up, and any questions you have, leave them in the comments below. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. There will be loads more yoga videos every week. Thank you again, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.